When Farhad Jabbar opened fire at a Parramatta police building, authorities had little idea who the 15-year-old Islamic State supporter was. But they had been watching a group of his friends for more than a year. Tonight, 7:30 can reveal police were aware that the same teenagers arrested last week over suspicions they helped Jabbar carry out the attack had been trying to get their hands on a gun since at least March. Dylan Welch and Sean Rubenstein Dunlop report.
It's a week since police arrested these four young men in connection with the shooting of police accountant Curtis Cheng by 15-year-old Farhad Jabbar.
He's gone? Is he dead?
Well, he is now.
We definitely have our suspicion that he did not act alone.
In fact, police knew far more about these young Islamic State supporters, as they'd been watching them closely for over a year. In September last year, the group was raided, accused of plotting to kill a random member of the public. Arrested on that day was 20-year-old Ahmed Niseman. Niseman was released without charge, but police were so concerned that in March this year, they were granted an interim control order, imposing strict conditions on his activities.
Oh, he must have been considered to be a significant threat, because the whole basis of a control order, of this kind anyway, is that the person sought to be controlled is in some way involved with the preparation for the carrying out of a terrorist act or for facilitating the carrying out of a terrorist act.
The control order reveals a small group on the periphery of the alleged September plot had formed a new cell, which police called the Niseman Group. A list of names in the document includes young men arrested last week over the Parramatta shooting.
They continue to express support for the terrorist organisation the Islamic State, or their desire to become a martyr or to commit jihad.
Incredibly, the document reveals that police suspected the young men were trying to get a gun as early as March this year.
There is sufficient information Mr. Niseman is communicating with the Niseman Group and others in code, possibly in relation to the sourcing of firearms.
It was clear that this group's indications were possibly earmarked several months ago. Now, there may be a lot of people out there who would then turn around and say, well, what were the authorities doing? Working in counter-terrorism investigations is a very difficult environment. You run a very fine line between disrupting the terrorist act and not gaining enough evidence to lead to arrest and successful prosecution. You run then the thin line of, if you miss that opportunity, and subsequent outcome is going to be death and catastrophe across New South Wales, Victoria, or the Australian community.
The control order also lists almost 20 people Niseman is not allowed to contact. Among them are 5 people under 18, including 2 16-year-olds and a 12-year-old boy.
The fact that this atrocity in Parramatta was perpetrated by a 15-year-old boy reminds us that the question of how the young are radicalised and what more we can do to stop this happening must be a first-order priority for all of us.
Yesterday, the government revealed it's planning to lower the age at which control orders can be applied, from 16 to 14. Former Supreme Court Justice Anthony Whealy chaired a Gillard government review of counter-terrorism laws, and it recommended the use of control orders.
Perhaps we should allow control orders against somebody who's under 16, but you know, control orders are not really the answer. They are simply a method of controlling or fettering someone's activities.
Another person on the Niseman control order is Wasim Fayyad, a prisoner in Australia's most restrictive prison unit, Supermax, at Goulburn Jail in southern New South Wales.
You're expecting to go to jail today, sir?
Fayyad was jailed in 2013 for his role in a brutal whipping of a Muslim convert. Along with another inmate 7:30 can't name for legal reasons, he is believed to have received jail visits from some of the young men raided last week. A self-styled religious leader, Government officials have told 730 he's believed to have encouraged the young men's belief in waging violent jihad.
It is a significant issue that these people that the criminal justice system of this state has removed their liberty, placed them in a high max prison, yet they're still able to communicate and share their rhetoric, their views onto other people that may be susceptible to what they're teaching out into the community. It is very dangerous.
It's not known if Parramatta shooter Farhad Jabbar ever visited Fayyan, but it seems clear now that the schoolboy absorbed his poisonous message.
Dylan Welch and Sean Rubenstein Dunlop reporting, and the Federal Police Commissioner will be with us shortly to elaborate on some of that.